The most important part of any camper build is having hammock points. Hammocks are the best thing you could ever have, especially if you want to be able to hang in the, say it's raining and you want to set up a hammock inside. But it's important to know at the beginning, before you start doing any of the panel work or anything like that, you want to be able to anchor things securely, and then you can build around it. You can make it nice and tidy at the end, but structurally at the beginning you want a solid connection. So what I have here is, so I've got, it's like a heavy duty high tensile steel bolt. It's about 25 mil, so it's not too long. Galvanized plate, square. Another one, and I've got this little hook here. Let's take this plastic off. So that there threads onto the bolt. I'm actually going to be putting a nut in between, so a locking nut. Just 1 second. So once again, we've got a nut. So now I've got one on the other side, on that side already. So now I'm just going to put something in here. So on the Sprinter it's very easy. I'm sure on the other vans, Transit, so forth, they're also very easy as well. And what we got, you don't want to lose it. Okay, so I've lost one down and it's gone down here, and I had to use a magnet to try to pull out the nut from the bottom, because otherwise it'd be ding 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 ding. So important, don't let go of this. And if you need to grab something, which was my problem, I thought I could just leave it in here and then go get my spanner or get a nut. I can't remember what it was. It was like a week ago. And what happened is when I came back, I actually knocked it, and then it went down here, and then it was just a nightmare. Then I had to sort out a magnet and a bit of plastic that electricians use to shove down through conduits to pull cables, tape it on. Anyway, bit of a mission. But anyway, I've got it now. So hang on to it tightly. What we do is grab through here, keeping in mind the whole time that there actually is electrical cables in here for braking, or you may have a reversing camera, you may have other cables that run through this cavity here. You don't want to be pressing your plate. I don't need this. You don't want to be pressing your plate on any cables in the back, because then of course you're going to create an electrical issue. So I'll peel that plastic off later. Hang on to the nut. Don't let it go. And then try to get this thing on. Probably should have had my hand on the other side still, which I'll do. You don't always have to have everything in your hand at the same time. Should have got this off before. You can cover this over later with some kind of flange. So just make sure it lines up nicely. And the inside, it's not touching any cables. See this cable here? That also runs up and through, but we don't want to be grabbing it. Now, just grab my spanner. So what we do, we're having two, so you can't really get something in there, that's okay. Just a little bit of pressure here on the front, and just sort of, like impact drivers, they go as they tighten. So you can do a little version of that with the spanner, and it will get tight, and the tighter it gets, sometimes the easier it is for it to just stay firm. So now I'm still turning it. It's still pressing, so it's not the bolt's not spinning in my hand, which means that it's still tightening up. Now it's actually getting really firm. It's getting really firm now. So now I don't even have to hold it. Not that you can quite see it on the camera, but yeah, it's pretty firm. So for me, that's fine. And now I put this on. And I don't need to worry about this so much right now, because when we come to do our fit out later and a bit tidier, then I can just take this off and put my panel over it, and then all I have to do is worry about just putting this bit on the outside, and it's nice and tidy. So not it's not going to be an eyesore. Look, you don't want to see plates and nuts and all that type of thing, but at the end of the day, you just want something that's practical, functional, and not too much of an eyesore, I guess. I'm just going to make it tight now, simply because I'm going to be driving my van in between getting these panels on, and I don't want it falling off, and knowing me, I'll probably lose it. Okay, so other side's done. Got one here. I'm going to put 2 more towards the front, so I can sort of lie my hammock down. But because I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do, I'm actually probably going to put 3 in, and with that in mind, then I can sort of move things around depending on cupboards and so forth. Another interesting thing that we saw in another YouTube video is some of the vanners, they put other hooks in, same principle as this, but hanging from the buttons that go across the top, so they can tie their surfboards up, everything like that. So if you've got a hook on both sides, maybe a meter apart, something like that, and even less, the width of your surfboard, whatever, then you can lie it through, put some straps on it. But if you do that at the beginning, then you've got plenty of options in the future. But if you try to do it later, you've got to try to find your batten, you've got to try to find where the holes are in the batten to be able to do this. It makes it a lot more difficult. Sometimes with an empty carcass to start with, just going for it, empty shell, you've got so many options to just think and explore and go, okay, well, this is what I want to do. Just put it in. I know it's exciting to be able to put panels in and make the van look good quickly, but then it might take you a lot of time to actually get the finer touches done. Spending a little bit more time doing the preparation work at the beginning, doing your hangers, doing your hammocks, doing your tie downs for your surfboards, whatever, running lightings and conduits and future conduits, so not just other things. They're very handy. Anyway, I'll get on to my other project. I just had to get that bolt out of the frame.